Välkomna tillbaka. Det har varit spännande att se. Det känns som att de här läktarna har pressats ihop mer och mer till någonting som påminner om någon sorts marknadsföringsbroschyr från kanske sillkonserveringsbranschen. Men ni har era platser. Några har sina platser, några står på ståplats. Ni får vara nöjda ändå. Det kommer ni vara, för nu blir det grejer. Nu har vi ingen mindre än Tobias Hurtig bakom spakarna. Och vi har 2 poeter som kommer dela på uppmärksamheten. Det är Ludvig Häger och det är Henry Bowers. Och om ni gillar dem så har ni dragit er lyckolott, för att de kommer ni få se ännu mer av senare. Men nu, Tobias, take it away.
I walk this earth with a canister of nitrogen to store my inner thoughts until I grab another mic again. And rapping sure is frightening, like handling a pyrogen that if taken lightly might be damaging like hydrogen. Dealing with feelings really failing to manage them. In order for my slaughter sure looks pale in comparison. Afraid of embarrassment, laugh it off like it's funny. Fight the urges telling me I ought to be running. I ain't no slacker man, I'm showing you devotion. Focusing my every thought and so I keep on floating. The ocean's in commotion, yet I'm breathing be it vocally. No notion of emotion, too afraid of fitting older weak. I'm known to be called vocally like globally and such. What was told is sweet, a tone of speech was totally a must. Fuck diplomacies, I show my teeth, that's hopefully enough. Then I brush the dust off my shoulder in a rush. It sure does feel like it's gotten cold. Script's been flipped and I'm not been told. They've set their mind on hitting bullseye. Ready, hand steady, lock and low. Ready, hand steady, lock and low. Just normal guy posing as a Zora High, total sham, broken man, knowing there's no Lord of Light. Attitude support disguise, absolutely mortified. Don't hug me, it's ugly, about as cuddly as a porcupine. The shit you see is far from depicting me. Contingency since infancy was far from a different tree. Each time I write a song, I'm solving a mystery, and each time the record skips, my heart always skips a beat. You guys don't get that I'm a national treasure. I'm inclined to change your minds, applying hazardous pressure. Now 10 million civilians show their silly resilience, unfulfilling, still I'm willing to instill them with brilliance. When I rap, I'm a god, apart from that I'm a slob. Damn, it's like black or white, no balance at all. That's what you get when your soul resides on the fence, and polarized confidence overrides common sense. Sure does feel like it's gotten cold. Script's been flipped and I've not been told. They've set their minds on hitting bullseye. Ready, hand steady, lock and load. Ready, hand steady, lock and load. Stuck in transit, silly habit. I really had it, all this dilly-dally still invalid. I need a map, I need a destination. Nothing bogus, need to focus on my respiration. Blood needs oxygen, right? No debate. So much food for thought, my mind's overweight. Always here, never truly present. Always trying to fight the gloominess with luminescence. Need to hold it back, there is no demand. Plus I always end up setting fire to the whole shebang. I retire, no more fireworks. Body's tired from always being on high alert. Sick of predictions, don't wanna hear them out. Need to be living a little more in the here and now. Nothing to joke about. Inside me hope and doubt are both fighting for attention, so I choke them out. So I choke them out. So I choke them out. And it sure does feel like it's gotten cold. Script's been flipped and I'm not been told, but I've set my mind on hitting bullseye. Ready, hand steady, lock and load.
Take now absolute control of your breath and lower your heart rates. Focus. Clear your mind and concentrate. Stay with me. Right here. No, don't slip away. Try your very best now not to dissociate. See all the things you had in mind. Let it wait. Breathe in, inflate, and allow me now to demonstrate something remarkable and truly great. I am about to reveal the sacred teaching of our ability to radiate, create, and communicate through the unbelievable mystery of energy. So tap now into this particular frequency. Adjust your mind to be exactly in this layer of reality. Because only, and I do mean only, if both you and me truly now immerse ourselves with this particular moment, the right here and right now part of our time in history, can we reach what the great poets would refer to as synchronicity. So breathe in, breathe out, my friend. See, we are about to dramatically increase the intensity. So hold on tightly to the great surrounding sense of mystery. Allow yourself to completely let go of all the things that keep you from being one with the streams and the flow of absolute divinity. You see, I have come to challenge your sense of identity, personality, and your existential individuality. The concept of there even being an actual you and me is only a mesmerizing illusion of non-existent duality. So tap into this particular frequency and allow yourself to see that here there is no you, there is no me. There is only the ever so great and magnificent union of all things material and all its inhabiting resonance, called simply we. See, this moment, right here, right now, it is all that has ever been and all that will ever be. You see, in all the ways I can be, I am you, and you are me. And so it has been and will be for all eternity. And I know that the idea may seem overwhelming and potentially even scary, but be calm, remember. Breathe in, breathe out, my friend. Remember that this is a blessing and it's called clarity. And we were always meant to have this moment together, right here, right now, eventually. See, us being here right now is our interconnected path merging into our ultimate destiny. And so, my dearest of friends, feel the gentle embrace of a vast and infinitely interconnected entanglement of energy that transcends beyond each and every single particle of the larger hive mind community. Let the eternal power of unity between all living things be your secret remedy at times when you feel abandoned and lonely. Let this be a moment of simplicity. See, there are a lot of answers to your questions hiding in the plainly visible part of reality that we seldom choose to see. Mainly because I think it requires us to be right here, right now, in this slightly higher frequency. But I will reveal parts and pieces of the great recipe. Have you sometimes felt like you can read minds through pure telepathy? Think about it. How is it that we can even feel things like empathy? How is it that so many things happen simultaneously? How is it that sometimes we really connect connect with someone so deeply, and the next day that someone has become our greatest enemy. My dear friend, may I once again present to you the unbelievable mystery of energy. Whether or not you believe it, you are able to transmit and receive it. It is knit between even the smallest particle and all the things around it, like stars in a constellation. It spans without limitation across every square inch of every nation, worldly location and spiritual destination. See, your body is a super advanced antenna meant to experience its pure electrification, able to switch frequency to different stations by demand and by automation. Your body is a tool to travel between every existing dimension. So breathe in, breathe out, dear friend. Now is the time of participation, to elevate your mind and become one with your great ascension. Venture now, fearlessly, toward the depths of the great unknown. See, your mind is craving this complete extension. And be rest assured, all of this is barely the beginning. This is surface tension. world of desire, where wisdom has been set to fire, where the wise are no longer admired, and our good intentions no longer fucking inspire. See, I'm part of a generation full of kids looking up to what all the other kids did, and God forbid that none of us would ever listen. See, we're just a generation without ambition or ammunition. We are fired into position and we are told to never listen. And if you are different, you are just that rebel who went off to prison. See, I just wish that people knew that being true isn't just about being you. It's how much you care and all the love that you can spare, that what you have you can share, and say you got a burden that I can help to bear. But nobody wants to be that volunteer who will be there to give that someone a reason to cheer, because the world is full of people, but still a lonely place. And we are all out of control and full of fears to face it. We're full of hate, we're saying sorry, but you're the wrong race, and you like other guys and you can fuck off unless you turn straight. See, we're consuming the world like a cigarette, slowly causing the death of the whole fucking planet. And we will soon pay this debt, as long as destruction is our greatest talent. And I'm here wondering, did we just forget about compassion? Is it because we're drowning in looks and fashion in a world of sex, drugs and passions? Instead of love, we just want some action. With all these kids now hooked to video games, apps and smartphones, they need a GPS to find a way home from school, and without it, they just feel too alone. And I see little kids turn to cannabis, just wanna feel something that really is, but sometimes these kids just drown in their own abyss until the world is an illusion that they can't dismiss. So I say, welcome to my world of desire, where wisdom has been set to fire, where the wise are no longer admired, and our good intentions no longer fucking inspire. You know what? That just can't be fucking true. It can't be true. And I realized if I'm selling this idea to you right now, then why are you acting like inspired when I demand you now to call me a liar? Let's teach our future generation that they are going to be the peak of our civilization. Let's give them proper education and brand wisdom as something amazing. Let our teachers say words that the history books put into quotation. Let's feed our minds with positive vibration instead of heartless temptations, fabrications, and media overstimulation. Let's see this as our obligation. So when the shit hits the fan and we all face extermination, instead of evacuation, we'll say no. We want reformation, recreation, modifications to all world nations, a mindful population, love without hesitation, cultivation, and liberation. But I guess, you know, for anyone to see that any of this is any good to be, first we, you and me, we have to take this responsibility. So when they are born, you know what we're gonna tell them? You see that world of desires? We put it to fire for you. We were the wise to be admired, and it was our good intentions that finally came to inspire. Tack.
Tobias Hurtig. Tillsammans med Henry Bowers på rap och Ludvig Häger på poesi.